محمد وآل محمد بلند الصلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Please recite another salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
A few minutes in English for my young fellows, inshallah, and then we will proceed in Urdu. So we will start by a small riwayat, small narration. Abu Basir is sitting and he's asking Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, Oh Imam, I am sitting and without any reason sometimes I become happy. There is no apparent reason for it. And sometimes I feel sad. Start feeling sad without any apparent reason. So he's seeking an explanation of what is this phenomenon, what is happening to me. And Imam is explaining to him by saying, and this of course, when Imam says that we talk to people according to their IQ, according to their understanding of Imamat and realities. So Abu Basir is Abu Basir, mashallah, he's one of the really close ones. He's really, he's very khas, as we say, very special companion of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. So he says, Imam, without any reason, sometimes it happens that I become happy and sometimes I start feeling sad. So what is behind this? And Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says that the famous narration that our Shias are created from our residue. Now whatever Imam is created from, we can understand, okay, maybe we understand it from the sand, the soil, whatever you call it, the clay. So maybe the residue of it. And they feel what we feel. So we have been talking about heart and mind, my friends. And we have discussed that mind creates a conceptual connection with realities. And the heart creates a metaphysical connection. The smallest form of that connection is what? Suddenly a friend calls you and you say, oh, I was just thinking about you. And I was about to call you, man. What is this connection? In its simplest form, this is not a conceptual connection. So heart-to-heart connection, this is the metaphysical connection. Now, depending on the extent of bond between, how many times do we hear that? A mother calls a child, oh, are you all right? I was feeling something in my heart that something is wrong with you. What is that connection? A mother's heart, a friend's heart, these attachments create metaphysical connections that we understand. Okay, and what is Imam trying to explain to us? That the connection of wilayat between we and Ahlul Bayt, if a friend can judge a friend's feelings and call them without them asking, or a mother without anyone telling her can understand something beyond this logical or material world's rules, then we should try to understand the connection of Masoom, the connection of wilayat, how strong that connection would be. If a mother can feel what a child is going through and vice versa, then how can Imam does not feel what we are feeling? And vice versa, depending on our sync with Imam and wilayat. Right? So in our example between two friends, we can understand that the bond is based on both parties. It cannot be one-sided. Right? You cannot say that I am about to call you when you have not called him for 100 years, for example. Right? So this does not happen with the strangers. This happens with someone, which is when the relationship is both-sided. So all our lives we are trying to learn to how to love Imam more and more throughout our life. Is it possible that he's not aware of what we are feeling? And that happens the other way around also. that this bond is not a conceptual bond. These figures are not historic figures only that we are trying to keep alive. They are living realities. If Allah is saying the shaheed is alive, the martyr is alive, we need to train ourselves to see Ahlul Bayt as living realities.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Right? Then our belief and our connections will be very, very different. Please recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So without any reason, when Imam is saying that our Shias are happy when we are happy, that's the explanation of without any reason. There is a reason, and this is the reason. That you, because you have a sync with us, because you have a special connection with us, whatever we are going through, whatever our heart is going through, you are also sensing it. Right? And that is why some of the scholars argue that a real moment, whenever, for example, the month of Muharram is coming, the real moment starts feeling that automatically. Because the heart of Imam Zamana is feeling that.
MashaAllah.
And the sync between you and the Imam of your time is enabling you to feel this. Without anyone having to tell you, please recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So in last few sessions we were trying to analyze the importance of love of Ahlul Bayt and why Allah has given so much stress, why Allah has given so much importance to this question of love of Ahlul Bayt, this demand, and equating it with Ajr Risalat, the reward for all prophets' struggles. So we have been discussing it from different viewpoints, different angles, and trying to analyze the importance. And one of the topics that we were discussing, one of the points in the last discussion was the phenomenon of idealizing someone. Superheroes, why do we get inspired by them? Right? Why do we idealize them? And then yes.
They do cool things.
They do cool things. That was one thing. Another thing is that they do cool things which we think we can also do. Or at least we have a fantasy of doing. Right? If a printer is printing 1,000 copies in a second, you are not inspired by the printer because you never have that capacity. And that is basically the root of this connection between you and your superheroes. You sense that he is displaying a quality, a talent, which you think you have, but you are not able to display. But because he is displaying it, you start seeing yourself in your superhero. When he is flying, you think, oh, it's me who is flying, basically. When he's in a tough situation, you want him to do something extraordinary. And when he does it, you feel satisfied, as if you have done it. And I was saying that our superheroes change with time. And what was your answer, Ali Asghar? Why do superheroes change with time? Abbas. And then you are? Okay. Yes.
What was your...
Question is that our superheroes change over time? For example, Faraz Chachu's, his superhero is not the same as yours, probably. So why do they change over time? When you grow up, yeah?
Because you realize it's not real.
Yes, and that was basically the point. When you understand that, when you grow up and you understand that flying is not real, it is not possible for a human being to fly. I don't have that capacity. Then you let go of your superhero. And then start looking for another one, subconsciously. And then switch on to someone else, because we all look for inspirations throughout our lives, whether we realize it or not. Throughout our lives, we are looking for inspirations. Somebody who can display a better picture of what we are right now. Our better self, our perfect version. Right? And when we see that the superhero does not have that, is not displaying a true characteristic, a true quality, that connection breaks automatically. And this was the whole point. That one of the points in asking us to love Ahlul Bayt and then telling us that these are the perfect beings, the most perfect beings that I have created. Right? The most flawless beings. Concept of Taharat, which Ayat Tathir is saying, you can understand it from this point of view as well. They are flawless and presenting you in the form of ideals. That in the form of Rasulullah, you have an ideal. And similarly, Ahlul Bayt. You have these ideals. And what's happening here? The talents they are displaying on the human level. On the human level, where you are asked to be a follower. See, there is one side of Masumeen, which is between them and Allah. Okay, there is no point in asking us to follow from that perspective, right? Yep. But when He is asking us to follow them, and Allah is asking us to follow Masumeen, it is from that dimension of a normal human being that He is asking us to follow them, right? So if we idealize them from the beginning till the end, then we have chosen the superheroes which will never disappoint us. Because all the talents that they are displaying from the human dimension, again I'm saying, right? Going out at nights and feeding, taking care of people's needs, putting food outside their houses, charity, so many other qualities they are displaying. All of these qualities we also have. So there is no chance of the link being broken here. Right? And this is what the true inspiration that we are looking for. I am born as a blank paper. What should I write on this? Now each time your superhero is changing, you have to change your writing, right? But if you love Ahlul Bayt, then this possibility of wasting your time and energies and not able to have your clear picture, what is my clear projection of my better self. So Allah is saving us from all this risk of losing ourselves in the end and not able to thrive and utilize our capacities and talents. Please recite a salawat.